What's going on YouTube? Achilles here, and today I put together a Rakdos control deck. The whole inspiration for this deck was first off being Chandra, Hope's Beacon, where we could double down with any of our spells and get a lot more value. And then I thought, if we're going to do that, that's pretty much committing crimes, so we might as well play Bandit's Hall to get a little draw power. So the whole point of this deck is to take down our opponent's early game cards and then take over late in the game. The few cards, such as Urabrask Forge, which is everyone's favorite, and bringing back all our opponent's creatures if they play any with Virtue of Persistence. And if that fails, we have a couple other cards to take them down. So anyway, let's get right into this list. We got 3 Cut Down, 3 Disfigure, 4 Bitter Triumph, 2 Abrade, 2 Liliana the Veil, 4 Urabrask Forge, 2 Brotherhood's End, 3 Bandit's Hall, 1 Aclazotz Deepest Betrayal, 4 Deadly Cover-Up, 2 Chandra Hope's Beacon, 4 Virtue of Persistence, and for the lands we got 4 Swamps, 2 Mountains, 4 Blackcleave Cliffs, 4 Restless Vents, 4 Sulfurous Springs, 4 Demolition Fields, and 4 copies of Fountainport. Let's get into these games. I remember in a previous video I said, imagine a Rakdos control deck without creatures. And here we are. I mean, well, I have Aclazotz in here, but I don't really consider him a creature half the time just because it's one of the few cards for when you play black to get life gain. Because there's not many options. I mean, sure, you have Virtue of Persistence over here to gain you 2 life, but Aclazotz is a reoccurring threat that if they don't Demolition Field or anything, it's just going to keep coming back, and I love that card. What I don't love is having all these colorless lands that are going to be bad against that. I mean, either way, pick your poison. They should get rid of Virtue them. I think that's the move, so I can't gain life. But maybe they want me to use one of my other cards instead. Yep. Interesting. Let's check it out, guys. We can play this. We have to just Virtue this. Next turn we get the Bandit's Hall going. I got the braids in here just for the Urabrask Forge. And speaking of which, it's just like just saying it and it's just happening. I'd rather them counter this than my Urabrask Forge. And if they don't, well, we're going to be at 5 mana next turn. Which is going to be very relevant and good because now we could produce another red or a black mana source. Interesting. Alright. So this is how we're going to do it. Going to attempt to abrade this. They counter it. Okay. So I still get my trigger. So this is the game plan. I bring this out and then I stop every threat for the rest of the game and I'm going to win off this Urabrask Forge. In theory, of course. So we get damage number 1 of 20 in. This Demir mid-range deck won't be that big of a threat. At least I don't think it will. Okay, so we got the Demolition Field, which is going to be very key. Alright, so I really am going to just attempt to get rid of this first. I really want to start drawing off of my, whatchamacallit, my cards, but then I'll get to draw, he'll draw a second card instead. Yep, see, so we do that just to get rid of it. I don't want that on the board. So now I just present myself with a Demolition Field, the Restless Reef for the Merrick's next turn. And then I just go from there. I mean, they got 2 Restless Reef out, though, so they got to commit their mana for everything, but I pretty much put them on a clock this way. So I'm not really complaining. There's no point of doing that, so just chill for now. I don't want the Gix to be on the board, though, I'll tell you that much. So I might end up bitter triumphing it next turn. Get all this mana to play around with. How will they do it? Will they Restless Reef and waste the mana, or will they play something? So, X equals 3. Okay. I guess that's fine. Anything good? They should just play Deadly Cover-Up, and then they could help me out by getting rid of their Gix. And that gets the job done. Okay, what do we got this time? Sorry about the dogs. Toy poodles just love to bark when I record. It's just the way of life, I guess. We're just gonna have to slow them down, get rid of every creature they play, and yeah, I mean, this is fine. We just have to make them recommit all their mana, and we're chilling. Next turn will be Liliana, or Bitter Triumph. Probably Liliana, though, we'll see. Yep, definitely a Liliana play now. We just keep on bringing threat after threat for our opponent to get frustrated with.
Enough with the mysteries. I've come. I've always hated crowds.
So now this is where, do they attack me or Liliana? They attack Liliana. And now for the plot twist. Ooh, we could do that though. Game life, but yeah, we're gonna go for another Liliana play. Just the reoccurring threat to demoralize the opponent.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
So now they focus on everything but me, which is, you know, just the move of the day. So I think I just keep my mana open. So, what I am going to end up doing is probably just going for Virtue for 7, like a maniac. I think that's just the way around this. And I just slowly ramp up to do the Virtue. It's my silly plot. I'm sticking to it. So, I'll make sure I don't take any damage this way. Interesting. So... I take 1? Oh no, it survives. No, it doesn't. Oh, it does. Okay. So, 3... I guess that's fine. So I just take 3. Which is just like taking 1. And that's it. Next turn I go for my Virtue. We'll see if they try to put anything on this. And they do. So we're going to do this and discard the Brotherhood Zen because we don't need it anymore. I mean, yeah, we do kind of need it, but 3 life is more important at this point in the game. So now they're top decking, which is going to really demoralize them. Especially when I do this. I'm going to use all their creatures against them, slowly but surely. Oh yeah, and it begins and ends at the same time. Very cool. Okay, let's see what we get this time. We get to go first. We're stuck on 2, but if we could draw 1 more land, I could go for the Bandit's Hall, and that'll be my 4th land. By the way, I love Bandit's Hall, it's so good. And my new favorite card. Well, it's not really new, but it's just one of those cards that I overlooked during Outlaws, which was the last set. Thunder Junction, I think that was what it was called. So I am definitely a fan this time around. I really don't want to. Am I gonna do it? Yeah, I am. And I'm gonna get rid of one of the lilies in my hand because I'm already taking a life, and I don't need 2 lilies. We're in survival mode against this deck anyway. I mean, yeah, sure, I could have got rid of Deadly Cover-Up, since I'm not gonna get to 5 anytime soon, but. Here we go. So we got to 3. We just do the Hall. Yeah, we're gonna do the Hall. That's the correct play. Because it'll slowly give us our, the whatchamacallit counters on it. It gets the loot counters, and we can slowly draw. So now that Deadly Cover-Up is definitely going to be relevant if I could draw this next land, which I don't, but it's okay. Do I get rid of the Squee now? Because they could just buff it up in response. So I'm going to do it now. I'm going to Urabrask Forge to get my Wincon out and just slowly just beat him down. Next turn will be the Deadly Cover-Up turn. I could exile Squee, as I have enough evidence to collect. Yeah, I'm just really hoping that I could draw 1 more land. Our opponent's gonna go do a bunch of stuff, so it's what, 6 damage I'm taking? And a Monstrous Rage for good measure, maybe? Oh, shock, that's alright. So I go down to 6, and I draw the land I need, which is great. I'm going to go down to 5, though, because I have to pay 1 mana source, which is not good. But this is how we get rid of Squee, at least. Because that will be a reoccurring threat, which we don't need. So we get to look in their hands, their deck. Nice deck you got there. And, okay. So at least the good thing is, they don't have any way to do more damage to me. They're going to be having to top deck to try to get 5 damage out on me. So I could play the Lily, but the problem is I go down to 4, so I am not going to do that. I don't want to be a little risky. I mean, sure, it could be risky, but in these matchups, every bit of life counts. And especially if they don't draw anything good next turn, the Liliana is going to be such a threat to their hand. Which I don't need, but they need one. They need a hand, not me. Oh, even better than Lily. we're going to go for Aclazotz, but first we're going to swing. Now they're in trouble. Alright, so what's the move, you may ask? Pay this. Well, we pay 3 mana for this colorless card. We are now going to play Liliana. Gonna start committing some crimes. Well, actually it doesn't commit a crime because it makes us both discard, so that's something to note. Yikes. So I go to 2. But then I'm gonna go to 6. Because Aclazotz is the card that will take me out of range, hopefully. Yep. That's gonna be it. Best they could do is block against this. But we're going to go around that. Committing some crimes without doing the time.
Off you go.
Alright. Nice. And we get it done. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to be testing this build out a little bit more. We didn't get to use the Chandra this time around, but as you can see, we hit about everything else in the deck. If the Chandra came out, though, then we could just, like I said, double down on our cut down, Disfigure, and all these other targets. If they had 2 Urabrask Forge, we could technically do this twice and get rid of 2 of them. The only problem with this deck, though, when I was building it, is I don't have a way to answer enchantments, really. And I'm talking about you. What's that card? The Talents for Boros. Just gonna put it in real quick. Oh yeah, the Caretaker's Talent. So if you play against that deck, I feel like that could be the card that could put them over the top and get themselves out of range of losing. But at the same time, this deck puts the opponent on a clock as well. So it could go either way. But thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a great day. Take care.